And good evening, everybody. Welcome to episode 98 of the podcast. Gary Redmond here. Greetings and salutations at your service. Well, we have ourselves quite a weekend, right? I mean, Red Bulls go, well, let's put it this way. They won they got a tie versus Nashville. They got a win versus FC Dallas. So we're going to talk about that. And on top of that, we win the weekend because NYCFC unfortunately lost. Well, more on that later. Of course, we're going to talk about a recap, which is Houston Dynamo versus New York Red Bulls, and why the word optimism is suddenly prevalent throughout the discussion group, and why we should simply curb our enthusiasm. Of course, Carlos cannot make it tonight, so it's going to be me and Miguel, and we're going to talk about the New York Red Bulls versus FC Dallas, which is our home opener, and I cannot wait to see all y'all at the Cathedral. Can't wait on Saturday night. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be a lot, there's going to be some interesting new stuff when you guys walk in the building. Of course, with standings, schedules, and predictions that almost at the end of the segment. We're going to talk about how we're going to win this game. Hopefully, we can be able to keep the good vibes going through that week, through the weekend. And if for some reason, if you missed the live show, which it is right now, you can always catch the recording live on, not live, excuse me. You always catch the recording on our YouTube channel, goals.tv, and of course, Spotify.com the very next day. As a matter of fact, those episodes will be uploaded once we're all said and done. And of course, we always say this before we even begin. Remember, this is your show, okay? We designed it, we built it, we crafted it for you and everybody in the group. And we want to make this amongst the best soccer-related podcasts out there. And for that, we're going to need your help. So if you have any feedback, if you have any questions, any suggestions, by all means, email us at our email address at rbdgthepodcast@gmail.com. That's rbdgthepodcast@gmail.com. Well, now, lots and lots and lots to talk about, but the good vibes are definitely going out there for everyone. We are looking at some of the comments already for some of our regular listeners. So welcome. And of course, I'm going to bring, of course, my other co-host, who is right now, talk about vibe, right? Two of his favorite teams won. Okay, we're talking about the Red Bulls versus, of course, versus a Houston Dynamo. And my, did Arsenal walk somebody out the club this afternoon? I mean, those men had women and children, man. They didn't have to be embarrassed like that. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, three goals is, did I hear this right? 3 goals in 17 minutes? The game was over before people even got their first drink of brew?
Yeah, 5 goals in the first half as well,
Yeah,
so.
I mean, talk about the other team didn't want to show up today. They didn't want to deal with it. Or was it the Gunners that basically, we'll talk about the Gunners later. Let's discuss what's been going on with the discussion group. Before a single ball was kicked, right? We were all discussing the 0-0 draw versus Nashville. And then today there was a sense of, well, I don't want to use the word, right? I don't want the word optimism seems to be prevalent throughout the discussion group, but you're ready. I see you right now with that pail of cold water full of ice, getting ready to throw it on everybody. And you're about to tell me and everyone, not so fast.
Well, it's only 2 games into the season, I think what we have to do is wait until the summer break, when they break for that nonsense tournament with the Mexican teams, and where we can see where we are in the standings. Okay. I mean, and I'm hoping that we are high in the standings in the Eastern Conference. The Shield, whatever, man. But if we can get some good playoff position so we can host some games, okay, that's where I want to be. Okay.
Others are saying that we're maybe 1 to 2 transfer moves away from being a serious contender. You agree on that?
They should have done it already. Okay.
Right.
That's where I am.
Something we've been saying all off season, right? We all been waiting with bated breath saying, okay, I mean, we all knew, okay, that Forsberg was the real deal. We knew that. The guy's a ball.
Yeah.
Okay, we knew that. The folks over in Leipzig were crying their eyes out because they let him go. All right. Some of those folks are now heading over in Harrison so they can follow their hero. Okay. So we knew he was the real deal. We knew he came in as a new package. But my thing is, and so are you and everybody here listening here, we were expecting more of his ilk. Not yet. Okay. I mean, I understand that you're going to wait until Lewis Morgan gets himself, switched on, and you want to wait, and you want to wait until other players also get himself switched on and see where this team goes. But folks like assurances around here. It's great to see. Okay, it's great to see. Don't get it wrong, but the two teams they played against, and I hate to be that guy, but there was missing some people.
Well, yeah, I mean, Nashville was missing like the Hany Mukhtar, I mean, him just alone,
Hector Herrera was MIA.
Yeah.
He was MIA. And a whole lot of guys. And yet they were bossing this team around. I was a little concerned. I mean, it was like, okay, I never thought I said this even in the thread. I was like, okay, I never thought I'd see this, Miguel, but you got Ben Olsen. Benny Ball, right? Running this team around, just running this team around. I'm like, what? This midfield around like they practically owned them in it, and that pretty much led up to the first goal. Okay, and it was just a matter of time. That was mostly alley-oop, and he comes in the 7th minute. Here it was.
Winning 11 home games last season of the 14 victories they found, and they'll be pushing themselves forward here. Here's Carrasquilla. Lovely lofted pass. Aliou loitering. Aliou! Houston Dynamo hit the front. Ibrahim Aliou loitering. Ibrahim Aliou scoring. Houston lead inside 7 minutes.
Off the chest, uses that pace, but this ball right here from Carrasquilla is lofted so perfectly. Edelman can't catch it.
Yeah, that was the thing that kind of made me grimace at that point, because the ball was sandwiched between Ibrahim Aliou and, of course, Edelman, and somehow Aliou got it. And once he did, he knew exactly what to do with it. Other than that, Miguel, what did you see? What all sense of wrong did you see on that very play?
Well, it was obvious, like Edelman, it was his error. I think I don't know what he did. He didn't commit to heading the ball out. I think he committed to the player, and then the player found himself.
He was trying to commit to something, and he swung and missed. That's what it looked like to me.
That's exactly right. He swung and missed. The player had the ball. And then all of a sudden, he's all alone against the keeper, and it sticks it in. It was a very nice finish. I thought we'd lost at that point because I'm
everybody else.
I'm such a pessimist.
Here it comes, our first loss. It's gloom and doom. Well, all of that, of course, would have happened if it wasn't for then it was the Dante Van Zier and the Elias Manuel show. This is
Morgan wriggling away from several in Dynamo colours. It's opened up here for Forsberg. Ball across goal. And in the end, it is in. Squeezed in at the far post by Elias Manuel. Red Bull New York have been knocking on the door, and finally they find a way through.
Yeah. Note that the way the ball was headed in, keeper had it. I don't know how it got past the keeper, went in the back of the net. Boom. There was a split second stunned silence. Like, how did that happen? And next thing you know, we're tied at 1.
Listen, it was an awesome play once again by Forsberg, who on the 2 games in, he might be like the best number 10 in the league. But you know what? I'm getting ahead of myself. All right, awesome play by him.
Well, what have you and everybody been telling me, right? No Cam, no Cup.
Exactly.
Okay.
What an awesome play!
Is he that Cam? Is he that? It's too. I know.
Listen,
it's too soon. Okay,
2 games in, Gary.
Okay, you're hitting me with the bucket. Now you're hitting me with the bucket.
No, but I'm saying 2 games in, and he's looking very, very good, Gary. Okay, very, very good. You know what? Awesome play, ball to Vancier. Again, he made it happen. What an awesome cross to Elias Manuel. However, Manuel hit it straight at the keeper. We're lucky the ball went in. I'll take it. All right,
okay, you'll take it. The one thing that I noticed is during a free kick, Forsberg hit the post again. It could have been 3-1, and instead that silly little post got in the way. Someone was asking if the posts, or should I say, the net was bigger in Europe than it is in MLS.
Listen,
No, it's pretty much the same regulation size. Unfortunately, I'm waiting for the day where he does this, Miguel. Crunch time, at home, and everyone goes nuts. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
If he starts adding those free kicks from outside the box to his, pardon the pun, to his arsenal, he could have a massive amount of goals. And by a massive amount of goals, I'd say 10 or more, just on free kicks alone. Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So you know what, man? I mean, I'm hoping he's looking real good. He might be that guy that can turn Elias Manuel, into like a double-digit goal scorer here in this league. Okay,
pretty much. It sounds like somebody to remind you of someone we used to know, right?
Yeah.
BWP was pretty pedestrian until Thierry Henry showed up, and they were a very effective combo.
And then he had such a question too.
Yeah, I mean, can we see this? Can we see this again down the road? I mean, if we had speaking of magnificent goals and someone who hasn't scored in a while, we're all thinking about maybe another draw before heading on home, and here comes Lewis Morgan.
Well, John Tolkien has returned to the field of play, and away from your screen is giving the hand signal that he's okay. Here's perhaps an opening through Morgan! Oh, wow! Fabulous goal from Lewis Morgan! Red Bull's new number 9 on cloud 9. A first goal since October 22, and boy, that'll mean everything to him.
Once again, Houston are their own worst enemy, and this time it's Artur. Always so reliable in possession, but gives that one right away to Lewis Morgan, who makes no mistake. Hasn't looked like he's missed a beat being out. Going through so many injuries over the years, the hip surgery comes back. Unexpected, 30 minutes last week, comes in 30 minutes into this one. You can see the quality.
And, of course, as you can see, the final score, New York Red Bulls 2, Houston Dynamo 1. Manuel in the 43rd minute, Morgan in the 59th, and, of course, Aliou in the 7th minute. I mean, it was a game, it was a match where, let's face it, there wasn't expecting very much, but the way they played, this Morgan's goal, with Manuel scoring the first goal for the season of New York, he became the 29th different player in 29 seasons to score the club's opening goal of the MLS regular season. So you got 29 games, 29 different players doing this, okay? The goal basically was his Brazilian 4th and last 5 matches, all across all competitions, dating back to last season. Morgan's goal, oh, by the way, we did mention it earlier. Van Zier recorded his first assist of the season. That's the second in his MLS career on the goal for Manuel. Morgan's goal was his first of the season, his first since returning from injury. Remember those comical appearances he made? One was basically doing the penalty kick, and it was exit stage left. We all eyes. Yeah, he missed. All eyes was not just on him, but all eyes was on the training staff, wondering, why did you let this man? You knew he was hurt, right? Okay, so he was that was Morgan. Of course, that was his second career goal versus Houston Dynamo FC. He now hits 22 in his career. Defender Cameron Harper made his first appearance in 2024 season after being subbed in 62 minutes. New York Red Bulls head coach Sandro Schwartz, remember him? He's our new head coach, right? He earned his first MLS victory with the club. Hooray! And oh, by the way, in case you're wondering, they extended the Red Bulls I'm talking about, extended their regular season unbeaten to 6 matches. Not bad. All of this means, basically the team is now sitting pretty in 5th place. Okay. Also tied with DC, Columbus, Montreal, Cincinnati, Charlotte, and of course Toronto, all sitting there basically tied for second place. But as my esteemed colleague mentioned and wants to tell everybody, well, it's just 2 games, right? Lots of games to go, but so far, so good. And so I'm going to ask everyone listening right now, and I know you are, and good evening, everybody, and welcome. What do you guys think? Okay, are they looking good? We talk about cautious optimism. Yeah, those are 2 words we're looking for. But what do you guys think? It's a little bit better than what you saw last season, where they were stumbling literally out of the gate when at that time Struber was leading the team. Then we had to yank him, and then we had to bring in, of course, Troy Lesane, and that's when things got a little bit better. But it looks like Sandro knew what exactly he was talking about when he was talking about a position game. And of course, John, Amaral, the voice of reason, because we talking like we didn't squeak into the playoffs last year and coming off a miserable couple of years. We look a ton better, and I'll take that. Do you, Miguel?
Yeah, I mean, we do look a lot better. He's right. Okay. And I'm going to go back to what I said in regards to Lewis Morgan. He's looking like a brand new signing. He's looking like he's put that hip injury that's in the past. Okay, what a golazo. Okay, as a matter of fact,
what a gift!
Gary,
what a golazo!
Yeah, what a gift! But that's Red Bull. Listen, that's Red Bull football in a nutshell. Okay, mistake, pounce, goal. Okay, the thing is with Morgan, we have somebody now that can finish, okay? Where we had like last year, like Barlow and whoever else that couldn't hit the side of a barn, okay? So here's hoping for more of that, okay? Another thing that I have to note, I think it was Vincent Escobar. He mentions that the play of Noah, Ellie, okay?
Yeah.
And
let's not forget him.
Listen, he's looking like the real deal. Also, his passing, especially like the long ball passing, it's been awesome. Okay, and he seems like a real upgrade to Reyes. Okay, right now. Okay.
Well, although there are great things happening, as Vincent pointed out, we got injuries. Okay, these injuries are now packing up. And already we're also calling for reinforcements, and it's not even game 3. New York Red Bulls 2. I don't want to put the training staff on notice, but hey, we can't have guys dropping out before the 10th game. That's gonna really become a problem down the road. And this is why I said signing for depth was important, right? This is why I need to get guys off the bench and know what they're doing, because right now, Miguel, as much as we're enjoying this team and we're going to be enjoying the living daylights out of them coming down the year, this is a rough house league. Okay? Dudes are going to get hurt. They haven't met. The team hasn't even played some of the elite teams yet. And when I mean the elite sides, I'm talking about the Philadelphia Unions. I'm talking about the Cincinnati FC Cincinnati's and so on. Okay. Even DC United all of a sudden got switched on. And remember, the coach that they got, we had. Okay. So you know they're going to be up there. They're not going to be a joke going down line. So while I'm have as much confidence in Sandro Schwartz and of course what they're doing, my eyes, of course, focusing on Mr. Schneider, and he needs to get some reinforcements in quickly because from what I see at the light, as far as I see them as the as the roster right now, we're thin. We're seriously thin. I mean, and that's that is something you don't want to have going into the season right now. I mean, the transfer window is closed. You can still actually get some players out of there. At this point, why not throw caution into the wind and get yourself a 5-2 USL player, someone who's going to be hungry, someone who's going to be that contract, and someone who's obviously good. I'm telling you, there are at least a 10% of ballers out there in the USL looking for a contract. Get them. Looking for an MLS contract. Find the ones that's going to be for positions in need, put out for a loaner, and see what you got. At least that's me as if I was sporting director. Because when I'm looking at the bench right now, Miguel, that's a concern. That's a serious concern. I mean, all we're going to take is just one bad injury to either Edelman or Amaya. We got issues. So who do you got coming up after him? But it's it's a deep concern of mine. I don't know, does everybody else feel the same? Someone else brought this up, but it's just and this is the point that you just pointed out for Vincent Escobar. This guy's really swinging for the fences. Already, it's not just 2 games. He's been doing this in preseason, and he was doing this in Malmo. This kid is the real. You're talking about Ellie. This guy's the real deal. He's not scared to pass forward. He's physical and fast. You're going to see that in time, and Noah will be here. And I very much like. It seems to me there's going to be some serious competition between him, Reyes, and Nealis, don't you think?
Yeah, that's a great 3 back, okay, to have, okay? But clearly, it's Nealis and Ellie right now as the starters. But as we saw on the game, Reyes came in. So he's a great option. If one of these guys is not available, you have Reyes step right in. But the thing about Reyes, he's like a red card waiting to happen. Okay.
Yeah, I'm hoping he improves his game. He doesn't have to, he's physical too. Okay. You have to also remember about Reyes. He's physical too. But the difference between the difference with Reyes is he can be a bit clumsy with tackles that making tackles that's not even necessary, or ballers that basically feel the heat. With him, I don't want him scared to make tackles. I don't. Okay, I don't. That's going to be, I want him to be just as fearless, but at the same time, I want him to be on this game. If he's done that, okay, I think he can be a much better baller. But if he starts going, tackling people like he's scared, he's going to be the red card waiting to happen. And right now, he needs to change this. And Nicholas, this is what I'm going to ask during the media availability. How bad is the injury to Stroud? Long term, need Donker, Carmona have to step up. I'm pretty confident that Carmona will be in there. Doncor, he's definitely shown some. He's the guy that got injured down the late. But this is what I mean by basically things being paper thin. And with the roster being what it is, I know a lot of people think I'm, being panicky a little bit, but hey, this is what happened last year. Remember, we were carrying with injuries early in the season, and look where it got us. Okay. After we were somehow, shaking that off, we were able to squeak into the playoffs with basically a half-injured roster. We do not wish to go through this again. And this is the reason why I touted saying, hey, we need a deep bench. Okay, we were beaten up by clubs like LAFC, who beating us with beating us with guys with our bench. We do have a sizable bench, but we need more coming off to really make we really make it make it effective. And yes, Nicholas, we've all said it. We need depth beside Forsberg. If I can get maybe one or two guys within his caliber, I don't know about you, but I'm sitting there like a cat in the canary. I'm sitting there with a cat in the canary. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna be all right. I mean, it may not be great right now, but we're gonna be all right down the road. And that's the thing, that's the thing that folks have been talking about. But we're gonna have to wait and see. I'm hoping that people in the front office read the memo that fans have been screaming about. Say, okay, this is nice. Forsberg is great. Ellie is nice. Okay, that's terrific. You need more. You need more. If you can't get, if you can't somehow get him in the summer, right now, you got to get him in the summer. If you can't get him, everyone's waiting I'm waiting until the summer. If nothing happens in the summer window, heads need to roll. I'm sorry. I said I was going to be critical this year. I haven't minced my words. Heads need to roll. I mean, because this is a season where fans have waited too long for empty promises and first round exits. They need more. They want more. It's about time they get more.
And by the way, Gary,
yes.
By the way, Gary, if our league was aligned with the leagues of Europe, for instance, we wouldn't have this issue with the summer, because you know what? It's easier to procure players from teams during the summer. Okay. Just Jesse Marsh wouldn't have left. Okay. Because, it would have been aligned.
And how do you explain to me? How do you explain squads? Okay. Here we go. How do you explain squads like your favorite, Inter Miami, grabbing ballers left and right? How do you explain LAFC grabbing these ballers left and right? How do you explain Orlando signing studs? Of course, they got paced, by the GOAT and everybody else 5-0 this weekend. But how do you explain these clubs that somehow grab these guys? Okay.
Yeah, you know what?
How? Whenever I hear transfer windows and stuff like that, whenever I hear that maybe we should just simply switch over to winter, it don't mean nothing to me. All it means is that, okay, you got guys that can't get it done.
No, listen. What it means is that teams are reluctant to have players leave mid-season where they are, okay? Because either they're chasing the title, they're chasing some sort of European competition, or they don't want to be relegated, okay? If they survive and they get whatever competition, maybe they win the title, during the summer is when they do their transfer business. Okay?
Hence what I said, don't be afraid to do any dumpster diving. There is gold down there, in many of these leagues that ain't gonna make it. Okay, many of those players say, "What am I doing here? This ship is sinking. I might as well go someplace where I want to get some playing time, and B, I'm going to sharpen my sword." I mean, I don't mean to criticize or accuse, okay, Garrett, Schneider of being a little soft in the area. I know he's working hard to try to get, making calls and fielding calls. Last thing we need is to put $2 million for some bum. Okay. That'll really get him out of, Harrison. I saw a lot of people smirking at that point, but Joking has to understand that all eyes are on him right now. All eyes are on him. Okay. You made the statement. You said it wasn't good enough. Well, you got to deliver. The fans are expecting that. The fans have to deliver. And I'm warning you, okay? I'm warning everybody. If we go through the entire summer, and go into August, and we don't see no A+ baller or anyone close, apathy isn't going to come close with this fan base. They'll represent and root the fans at the team that they have here. But disappointment isn't going to come close. And that's something that I want this team to avoid. I like where things are going on right now. Maybe it's a long-term project, but I'm going to say this one more time until the
My
cows come home.
God, please, another long-term project, Gary.
Right, and
Please,
that's what
I'm getting old. I'm not getting any younger. Come on, let's
agree.
go.
I agree. I've been following this team since '95.
Yeah.
Okay, I used to roll in with a crew 30 deep. I'm the only one left. Okay, I'm the last of the Mohican. Everybody else gave up. Some of them went to NYCFC. They're happy. They got a trophy. I'm still here. I went from fan to supporter to now reporter, and I'm going, okay, you made a promise that you're here to win now. This is nice. We want more. We want more. The fan base wants more. Okay. They demand, I mean, this is what I've been telling our folks at the discussion. You got to do a thing. Don't expect them. Just wait and watch what does happen with these guys. Okay. They made the promise. They made the statement.
Right.
Let's see they back it up. Otherwise, leave and get somebody else who can. Now, I haven't heard a word. We got a sporting director, right? Last I checked, we signed some guy sporting director. I haven't heard his name. I haven't heard a peep from this guy since he showed up.
Wait, I know we signed a sporting director.
Yes, we did.
I forget his.
Exactly.
Who was that? Who did we sign?
Exactly. Okay, so
yeah,
once again we're back. We're back into.
Yeah. John Amaral just put it up. Julian de Guzman is the guy's name.
Thank you, John.
Former MLS player, and then he went on to the Canadian.
We haven't The last I heard from him, he was a Canadian. I know he was a Canadian baller. You remember him, but
yeah,
since he got here, I haven't heard not a peep from this guy.
Is he here? I don't even know.
Speaking of which, the head Gengar, okay, he's got his working papers. He's on his way here to States. He will be here probably before, pretty much on time before the game. Next thing with FC Dallas. Will he be fit to play? I don't know, but
that's that 19-year-old winger.
That 19-year-old winger, yeah.
Okay.
So we get another winger. What the team needs a striker, we get a winger. Oh well. This is what I'm talking about. So. Right now, I don't want to be the guy that yell and scream, like some angry old man. But if you are generating excitement, but it cannot be with Forsberg by himself. I know he's not. Someone on X said he's here already. Nicholas, this is why I love the group. They get information fast and furious, sometimes faster than me. He's here already, which means that he might be ready and suited up for the game on Saturday. Speaking of which, we are going to talk about that. We're going to talk about why you should care about FC Dallas, and you want to talk about guys in the ER room, some of their starters and stuff like that. If they can't get a win against these boys, who knows? We'll see what happens, but we're going to take ourselves a break. Within 30 seconds, we're going to talk about the story that is FC Dallas and our home opener. Stick around. We'll be back. I promise. All right. Last we looked at the FC Dallas. They're right now currently sitting in 6th place. They have just about 3 points. They and they're now coming over to Harrison as our home opener at Red Bull Arena. I'm a little bit excited about this because, in a sense, I can't wait to see all y'all. I mean, basically all each other and stuff like that. We're all going to be there. It's one of the things that, even if the team downright stinks, this is something that we all look forward to because we've talked to each other offline and then we basically get together over, beer and everything else, unless we're going into road trips and stuff like that. let's talk about FC Dallas. FC Dallas has got some guys that are missing. Marco Farfan, Sebastian Ibega, Givon Jesus, Emir Corsa, Alan Velasco. These guys got a married of lower back, calf, right knee, left groin, and knee. And despite that, they still have quality in their lineup. And for all intents and purposes, they might give, the Red Bulls a little bit of a fit. The last time they played, which was they have this new guy that they scored. His name is Petar, Petar Musa. And this is an FC club record signing, and he scored a goal. Okay. He put himself basically in the best way for Saturday night. This is a Croatian international striker, okay, who scored in his MLS side following, Bernard Comon's header in service at Dallas level with CF Montreal just before halftime. And then they beat CF Montreal by a score of 2-1. So this is a guy that's going to be, you're going to be looking at pretty hard. This is what I mean by quality. This is a decent team with a straight up dude, and this guy can actually bang in the net. What are we looking, what are we looking at here with Miguel? We've seen this team in highlights and stuff like that. They look pretty good. They look pretty decent. And for what I understand about FC Dallas, this is a club which is an MLS original, which is the reason why I'm wearing my Metro Star shirt, just to celebrate that fact. They are the team formerly known as the Dallas Burn. Of course, we are the team formerly known as the Metro Stars. Enough about that. But we've seen this team in highlights, right? Anybody up there that makes you go, uh-oh?
No, you know what? I don't think there's anybody there that makes me go, this is another team like most MLS teams. They're not in top form, okay?
Nobody is.
Nobody's in top form right now.
Except for Miami, but nobody is. But go ahead.
But we should be able to take them at home, Gary, with what the Red Bulls have shown so far. Okay. I think the home crowd drives the Red Bulls on to victory.
Okay, let me ask you this. Okay, based on that, I was hoping you go in that direction, but let me ask you this one question. Is it possible we get, the team faces a letdown?
It's the New York Red Bulls, of course. It's possible, Just look at what happened last year. Like, we had a couple of teams who sucked on paper, and they came there and won. I think Chicago was one of them, But you know what, man?
Hey, Lisa, how you doing? Yeah,
Lisa Botino is here, fellow Arsenal supporter. There you go. Gunners,
not at 100%.
Well, that's another thing. If Jesus Ferreira,
this dude scares people. Okay. I don't know if he scares me, but he scares people. Okay, he scares people. This guy, Jesus Ferreira. Why this guy not over in Europe or someplace, or Mexico someplace, is beyond me. I mean, he has the ability to terrorize defenses. Okay, I don't know if he's going to be, it's kind of funny while you got one guy that can terrorize defenses while ours is settling in place. And when it does, I'm looking these guys to be maybe top 3 defenses in the league. Who knows? I mean, but it's still early. It's still early. But this dude, he's one guy you got to keep off the scoreboard. And that's one guy. Now you got this, this Croatian striker who's also going to, those two are going to be a problem. At least I look at it on paper. What's your thoughts?
Like you, I don't know why Jesus Ferreira isn't over in Europe. He could certainly, I think he could certainly cut it in some, like a 2 Bundesliga or the Dutch league as well. That's like the path that Ricardo Pepi has taken.
Yep.
But he has been trouble in the past for us. Okay, very fast if he gets into space, because the Red Bulls like to press up. The Red Bulls like to press their defense to like the midfield line. Okay, that's just Red Bull football. Okay, this is what the team has to be wary of. Long ball over the top, boom, the guy's in on goal. But I'm hoping for the best. I think we're going to get a win this coming weekend, Gary.
The only thing that concerns me, I'm going to ask this question. Everybody else is listening. The one thing that's concerned me is the injury to his injury. He said how much of that's going to be a factor. Okay, we're going to find out exactly how hurt he's going to be available for selection. Something tells me he won't be because they had to cart that kid off the field. So we're down, we're down a midfielder, and so
Stroud is also injured.
Stroud is also injured. This is going to be a concern. So the question I have to ask is, okay, is the walking wounded creeping up on the Red Bulls yet again? Or do they have just enough to go toe to toe? We're arguably one of the good teams, one of the good sides in the Western Conference, and get themselves a result. Now, one thing I want to give you guys a little heads up now. They changed the lighting system at Red Bull Arena. It's going to be a little brighter in the concourses, but those blinking lights that you see in all the other arenas, especially in baseball and everything else. Well, we got them now. So if they score, you're going to see lights flashing on and off. I don't know if anybody's going to be
that's not good, because
I don't know if it's going to be photosensitive.
Isn't it autism awareness the game anyway? I don't think they're going to
turn those. I don't think they're going to use that feature on that game.
All right.
Let's not. On that game, but just just to be an FYI, there's also some good food and everything else, food and beverages. They expanded the bodega, which something I like, and I don't usually get to see these things because I'm stuck in the press box for about 2 hours. So if you're in there, you're checking out the place. They also have some new payment systems where you can only grab your grub and payment as you leave, which ain't bad.
Don't buy any overpriced food there. You'll pay $20 for a burger, please.
Well, this is the
reason. Eat before, go in there. If you must, buy a beer, like a $13, $14 beer.
Oh, by the way, they got these large size cups that you pay for I forget what it is, like $24, $42. I'm not sure. And
for soda,
with soda. And if you use them all season, they're like free refills. I'm serious. Yeah, that's a very good deal. So I'm serious. Free refills with that cup. Okay, you don't have to. You buy it with that cup. It's free refills all night long. Although I don't know why many people will want to drink soda for about 2 hours at a soccer game and try to make it to a restroom before their groin explodes. But that's beyond me.
Yeah. Hey, Gary, I just want to point out, Nicholas Llanos, he points out that, and I remember this story, Ferreira had a deal to go to a Russian club.
But politics got in the way.
I believe the State Department got involved.
Yeah, stepped in and said, no. We're not sending you to one of our enemies. Screw that. No, you apply your trade back in MLS like you're supposed to, like a good boy. So basic.
Is that what they said? I don't think so.
No, I don't think they said that. But that's the way. If you really look at it, that's basically when the State Department tells me you can't go, you can't go. And then John was saying he's making a lot of money in Dallas, not getting out of Europe for who he is, and he's right. He's their DP. He's he's their designated player. So he's making the money. Why he's not making but that's that's what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be in Russia. It could be any place else in Europe. But as John pointed out, it's a money thing. You're not giving American ballers. They don't make that much money. They're not making millions of dollars, maybe $100,000 or something like that, but they're making millions of dollars. There's a lot of American balls. I would love for them to come over here, but I don't think we have a front office that's savvy enough to identify those ballers and bring them in, and that would definitely definitely, bring that in and talk about strobe lights. I wish my baseball team had, but it's only we have issue with strobe lights. And this is my concern. There are a lot of folks who are who are sensitive to this stuff. And then even, I don't mean to sound like an old curmudgeon. Okay. Hey, we don't need, it's bad enough we got flamethrowers in the goal, which is kind of cute, but it was borrowed from Seattle. Okay. I was looking for something, original. It's Spotlight or something like that. Someone just try to tell me, man, spotlights are dumb. Something, okay, original or nothing at all. That's my take. But yes, Lisa, I have so do I. I have fixed feelings about the lights. Okay,
this shouldn't be an issue. Like there's a game that they have that is autism awareness night.
I don't think they're going to use those. I swear.
You're telling me they have strobe lights now? Come on.
I mean,
man.
yeah. If they use those lights on autism night, I'm going to scream at the Grand Prix like, "It's your daughter. Your daughter's at the game. What is wrong with you?"
All autistic fans come to the
what is wrong with you?
and then stay home, okay? Because there's going to be flashing lights at all times. Okay, go ahead.
Sounds like that song, "Flashing Lights."
I mean, come on.
So yeah, that's something new. I mean, that's something new that's going to be imported into Red Bull Arena. Just about every facility has them.
I don't need
college
that.
Or pro.
I don't need that. Just as an aside, I don't need that. Just get some.
Neither do I.
So they can win MLS Cup, okay? Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, neither do I. I mean,
I don't need any food options either, okay? Because I never buy crap there anyway.
It's supposed to enhance the fan experience, okay? I'm just reading from what I'm seeing here that the folks at the communications department, by the way, thank you.
Buy some players. Thank you.
You're talking to the wrong department. That's the communications department. That's the front office. Okay. They just want a good home record and get rid of the hate. Oh, okay. So okay, wait a minute. So Ali Melendez, you ain't feeling Ali Melendez, Vincent? You're not feeling her?
Is that her name?
Yeah,
Ali Melendez. That they show on the screen with the DJ. The DJ. Make some noise. Make some noise.
The DJ was here before Ali Melendez, and the DJ you're talking about is DJ Phil. Okay. He's the one that gets he's the one that gets the fans, bumping with the music and everything else.
What was the other guy they had there? Like they had a famous DJ last year. I forget who it was.
Whoever he was, he was loud. Okay. He came in and my ears were ringing. After and it was the very week, right, Miguel? They bumped up the sound system.
Oh, okay.
And all he was loud. Okay. My ears were ringing after he did his thing and everything. What the fuck? They had to crank that damn thing up like we were in the jet engine. I must be getting old because it was
listen.
Good. I remember he was here before. Remember he was here before and he blew out the damn transformer.
Listen, nobody can top DJ Solie coming onto the field in that truck,
No, that was the best. That was the best. That was the greatest ever. Okay?
The greatest
on a truck. Okay, he was injured in that game.
He was injured.
He was injured on that game, so I'm going to make myself useful. And what does he do? He's cutting and scratching with some chick playing with the violin. Epic. Man. We all thought it was a clown move, but no, they were rocking the place.
That was awesome, Gary. I'll give you that.
They were rocking the place. I'm serious. It had me rolling. I was like, oh man, he had to make himself, but Solie was he's warm in our hearts for that particular reason. He's cool. And when he shows up at at the SG parties and stuff, he puts in quite a show, and he's close to our heart. But he's living, according to Lisa, he's living his best life in Vegas.
DJ Solie, really?
I don't know if that's true or not. I gotta look it up. I gotta check that out.
I'm gonna have to look it up.
We're gonna have to check that out just to stop by and say hi. I remember you. I don't need someone to hype me up during warm-ups. No, you don't. let me just say this to everyone who's listening right now. Okay, I'm more of a traditionalist. Okay, if you're gonna hype something, if you need a hype person, okay, whether it be male or female, then there's something wrong with your fan base. I mean, they're just not interested. Last I checked, this is a soccer stadium. Okay, there are two things that can hype up a crowd. Okay, one, a winning team. Two, players that even the casuals will recognize. And we had that in the past. Okay, we don't have that right now. I mean, even some of the players that we have are pretty decent. I'm not, I'm not knocking those guys. I love those guys. But what brings people in the seats is fans that no. That's probably the reason why this thing with Messi is such a damn farce. Okay. And it's basically you got the owner, okay, Inter Miami, essentially saying, stop looking at us and see, and go sign some players so we can have a better league. But remember what happens, okay, when you sign players like Messi coming in the building. Hey, Miguel, remind those folks remind our listeners how much their Inter Miami's tickets cost just to catch a game.
Well,
you got 1/5 of FC Barcelona on the roster, and they're shelling out a pretty penny just to see them play. Remind them.
Listen, Gary, like last year, I sold my 2-season tickets for like $400 each, like real quick. I should have waited. I could have sold it for more. Okay, but in this year, the prices are high. If you look on StubHub, but at Miami. Okay. They're like, I forget, somebody told me that the cheapest season ticket is like $2,000. Can that be true? I don't even know, but that's what somebody told me.
This is what I've been telling our fans.
It goes up like $8,000 for a season ticket. Come on, man.
Come on.
I mean,
he's here for maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years.
Wait. This year and next year, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Maybe
so is he maybe 2 years? 2 years and an option, something
and
like
an
that.
option, right? 2 years and an option. So it's last year technically doesn't count because it wasn't even a year. He came in like late mid-season. But he's got one full season. He's probably got a full season and a half left, and then he is ghost. And the question will become, okay, are you gonna? I mean, knowing Inter Miami, I hate to make this an Inter Miami channel, but this goes with what I've been saying to many of the fans. Be careful what you wish for. And, I mean, I'm saying this to my man, forget his name all the time. Man, I'm getting old. The Giuseppe Greco, okay, my boy. He wants big name after he wants big name after big name after big name. Like, okay, you got tickets to see those big names, son? Yeah, sure. Because that's what I remember. The tickets pretty high when Henri was hanging around here. When Henri, Marquez, and of course you had the guy from Australia. Those tickets are pretty. They weren't cheap,
Gary,
but they weren't expensive either. But go ahead.
I'll take an aging Italian superstar right now, Gary, from Serie A. Okay, right now. Oh, and by the way, Lisa says that Messi's contract is 2.5 years. So theoretically, he's going to be here this year or next year. Okay, so
this year, right? This year, right?
Yeah.
He came in basically right shortly just before the All-Star break. So after you got this full season, then you got next season, then he's gone. So what MLS is pulling out all the stops to hype this dude while he's here. I wouldn't put it past the league to just hand him MLS Cup, okay, just so they can validate. See, the GOAT got a trophy. Yeah.
Listen, Gary, everywhere, every stadium that they play in, it's practically sold out, and it's pink. There's pink in the stands. Okay. So there you go.
I'm not knocking. I have no quarrel with Inter Miami. They're doing their thing to basically increase their brand awareness, and they're doing it with the greatest soccer player on earth. It reminds me of another team in Chicago when they had the greatest basketball player on earth. And all you heard about was the Chicago Bulls left and right. And I'm a Knicks fan, long-suffering Knicks fan. Y'all get the picture where this is going. So
yeah, I went to see Jordan play when he came to the Meadowlands against the Nets.
So
that might have been like in 1998
at the Garden. He
No,
dropped he dropped 55 on the Knicks.
No, I went to the Meadowlands.
The only time I saw Jordan play at the Garden.
I went to the Meadowlands at the Meadowlands Arena. I saw him play against the Nets. That might have been his last year, or whatever. But
yeah, so be careful what you wish for. Meanwhile, our intrepid crew is going to be facing FC Dallas. And for all intents and purposes, we're hoping there's going to be a good night. Should be a good night for everybody. I can't wait to see all y'all. Of course,
it's going to be victory, Gary.
Okay, let's talk about that victory.
Don't be a Debbie Downer.
Speaking of that, this is where we go into predictions, right? So far, the standings is nobody won. Not a single one of us won. We all made predictions, and not all of us came close, except for maybe the folks that are listening. All said, okay, let's start with you. What's the final score? We win or we lose?
3-1 New York Red Bulls. Okay?
Okay. I'm actually gonna be surprisingly optimistic. There's that word again. Okay.
Wow.
I'm gonna say, but we're gonna cut it pretty close. 2-1. Good guys. Metro Boys are gonna get all 3 points. It's gonna be tight. If I see a barn burner, I'm going to be very upset. I'm going to be very glad to see all you guys, of course, at the tailgate. Going to see you guys at the Viking Army, and of course, my beloved Empire, and of course, Torcida 96. I know you guys are going to be rocking left and right. Hope to see you guys. When I would love to see over to my right hand side as I'm sitting in the press box doing my thing, I want to see a very full and a very loud South Ward. That's what I want to see. That's what I love to hear. All the cool kids showing up for the boys, because it's going to be whether or not we go get the cup that we can't seem to get, it's going to be a very fun season this year. Something that we haven't had in a while, and I want them to experience. It has nothing to do with me. All I'm going to do is chronicleize what happened during the matches and everything else. But for all of y'all, I want you guys to experience, winning a championship, because that will put a smile on my face before I die.
One would hope, right? Yeah.
One would hope. I want you guys to experience this, because of all the BS that we used to take, we used to put up with all back in the day. Y'all don't deserve this. So I'm seeing some. Vincent Escobar says 2-0. Tom Potvin says 2-0. YouTube user, well, we already know what this guy's saying. He's saying 3-1 Red Bull. I'm hoping for a win, and it's going to be interesting. Of course, next week we're all going to be talking about this. They're going to be, speaking of which, after the Red Bulls finish with FC Dallas, they're going to go back on the road. Wow, this is a schedule that's really going to be fun. Let's see the next games they have after this. Stand by for just 1 second. Of course, FC Dallas, of course, on Saturday when it's all said and done. Then they go back on the road versus Columbus. Remember them, okay? Oh, one other thing, I just got a shout out. Every fan is going to receive a light up foam LED stick to enhance Red Bull Arena's new lighting system and help grow our match experience. Yeah. All y'all.
Okay.
I mean, look, this is small town stuff. I'm sorry. This is small town stuff, but hey, they're trying. Okay. So everybody's walking around with these LED sticks. This is going to be fun.
Should have saved the money for that to get us better players now. That's what they should have done.
Okay. They're going to be at Columbus, and then we're right back on the 23rd versus Miami, and then they're back on the road on the 30th versus Orlando. So after we're done with Texas, we got to deal with Ohio, then Florida. Those are the three. Yeah, right. So it's New York versus
Cincy.
Excuse me. Columbus.
Who's next? Columbus.
The champions, right? They're going to be facing off against the champions, and they're flying off a high note. I mean, and such. I mean, hey, they're the champs. What are you going to do? They got 3 stars above their crest. We have 0. Hopefully that we've been able to get 1 before it's all said and done. So
it's unbelievable, right?
Got to work on that cough.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Oh, I forgot about it. Yeah.
Next week, Lanre Badmus and, of course, Mark Coates will be with me, and we're going to talk all about the doings of what happened, of course, versus FC Dallas and get ourselves ready with Columbus. So we hope you guys enjoy us, join us for that. And like I said, we really appreciate you guys. Don't forget, if for any particular reason you missed this show, you can see it online the very next day in Goals TV, Goals.tv, that's GOLZ.tv, and of course our YouTube channel, and of course Spotify.com. Phew, what a day. It's, next week it should be it should be fun, Saturday night. I look forward to seeing you guys all the during the tailgate and everything else. A lot of fun this whole season, and I hope to see you guys on Saturday. So don't forget, next week Lanre and Mark Coates is going to be with us, and everything else. We appreciate you guys showing up. Put that down. Look, they need to keep winning. That's all I got to say to you. They need to keep winning.
Thank you.
I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out for this last hour. We appreciate you guys 100%. And, of course, we are now 2 episodes away from episode 100 of the podcast. And we couldn't get it's going to be a very special guest.
Massive milestone.
That is a massive milestone. We have a very special guest. We're going to bring it on the show. And, of course, we're all going to invite you guys to celebrate along with us. So, of course, Carlos Cordero couldn't make it. Unfortunately, you know what they say, work beckons. But Miguel Nunez was here at your service, as well as myself. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We will see you all next week. Until then, thanks for joining us. Good night and goodbye for now.